Hey guys, I am obviously dealing with some issues today wearing my big old sunglasses. I have been trying to get up at like 5 in the morning every morning instead of 6 or 6:30 so that I have more time. Sorry, I'm readjusting a little bit. To get like my just routines done, and I've been wanting to do some like yoga or whatever, just something like movement wise. I just wanted to get some movement, and I know like I've been advised that yoga, like I need to be really careful because of my joints and hypermobility stuff, and I can make things worse and like cause a lot of pain if I overdo it. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with like super easy stuff, just like 10-minute videos on YouTube for beginners that like I don't think will hurt me because I'm not doing much. This is my cue. But I don't know. I think it did hurt me or something, or maybe I can't maintain the schedule as well, and so I'm like really wearing out, which happens every week. It seems like Monday is usually fine, Tuesday is okay, Wednesday is okay, today's Thursday, I'm not okay. My brain hurts, my neck hurts, like especially like right here, the base of my skull really, like that's where I feel it usually, and then like out of all down my neck, and my shoulders are like always tense. Like it isn't, no matter what I do, no matter if I go to physical therapy or go to my Atlas chiropractic person to make sure everything's in place, or go to massage therapy. I did that for years. Like nothing seems to be like a permanent solution or a long-term solution. It's like, it just, I don't really know. But I'm kind of questioning if like, did I mess something up by doing yoga today? Like, I didn't do anything with my neck, but like sometimes just holding my head up in some of those yoga positions where I'm like parallel to the floor, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not supposed to do that. But I want to do something that helps move my spine in the morning so that I can like, I don't know, I find that like the forward folds and stuff where my head is like completely like down towards the ground and gravity's pulling on my neck. When I get back up from those, it doesn't feel right, and I think I need to be more careful and maybe not do that. I'm going to talk to a professional about it, but it's just annoying. I'm trying really hard to find some sort of rhythm that works so that I can maintain my work schedule and not burn out again and quit, because I've done that everywhere that I've worked. There's only one job I was able to stay at for 3 years, and that was because I changed positions multiple times within the business. I changed my availability and hours multiple times to accommodate myself, and I also really wasn't doing very well. I just worked really, really close to home, and was self-medicating with medical cannabis for the pain. And it was at a place where like I could get away with that. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do that here. I could not do my job while high. Absolutely not. Not that I should have ever been trying to do that. But I was working at a grocery store, so it was like I could do what I needed to do, and microdose. I was never like super high or anything. That would be stupid. I don't like being like impaired. I just needed something because I was in so much pain. And that reminds me, I have CBD powder that I'm gonna put in my tea here, because that will help a little bit too with the pain. Just ugh. Like, I mean, obviously, I've been doing videos almost every day, like every day this week, and so, like, you kind of see what the dynamic nature of my disabilities are. Yeah, it's hard for me to accommodate myself sometimes because I don't like that other people... It's vulnerable. People can see when I'm not doing well. Like, I can't hide it like I used to, or like other issues that I've had in the past. Like, mental illness is pretty easy to hide most of the time. This is not. I could take these glasses off and I'd be in a lot more pain. I sound different today. My voice sounds weak to me because I'm in pain and I am tired, and like, the pain is making me tired. I feel like if I weren't in pain, it wouldn't be so bad, but also I wonder if the fact that I am wearing out towards the end of the week is why I'm in pain. It's hard to figure out. If anybody has any tips or ideas on that, let me know. Yeah, I think today's episode is really just about dynamic disabilities, and this is really the first time I'm really admitting I have a disability, instead of just saying like I've got issues or like there's a problem that I have sometimes. Like, it is a disability. I need aids and help, and I may not be able to work this full-time crazy schedule like everybody else can, and it's really hard for me to admit that and accept that because I want to be able to do it. I feel like I'm expected to in society. If you can't work full-time, you can't make a living. Like, you're dependent on someone else at that point, and I don't like being dependent on other people. I feel like a burden, or like they could just choose not to support me anymore, and then I would be on my own and I can't support myself, and that's a really scary place to be for me. I've never had to support myself completely, and so the thought of never being able to do that has been really hard for me to accept over the past few years, realizing that like I'm just not capable of being on my own. Doesn't mean that I don't have a lot of abilities and things that I can contribute. It's just, it doesn't feel like enough sometimes. And I don't want to feel that way. You know, I've been ending all of these episodes by saying you're enough, and mostly that's to myself, because I don't always feel that way. Like today, where my disability is showing and I am not able to do things normally, it's like, yeah, well, on days that I'm good and I'm not having a flare-up and I'm not, struggling as much, it doesn't feel so bad. It's like, oh, I'm fine, this isn't too bad. Today is just not one of those days, and it is pretty bad, and I'm glad I have a job that I can still do when I'm not feeling great. I just do sometimes feel bad that, like, maybe there would be someone else that could do a better job because they don't have a disability. And then sometimes I feel like imposter syndrome, like saying I have a disability and then being fine some days. People don't believe me, or like I don't even believe me sometimes. Like, I'll forget what it's like to feel disabled, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm not disabled, I'm fine today. And then, a day like this comes around, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I do have issues, and it does happen quite often, and it just because I could be fine for 3 to 5 days in a row, and then have 3 days where I feel like this, it doesn't mean that those 3 days where I feel like this aren't important and need acknowledging. And some days it's the other way around. Some days I feel like this more than I feel fine, and I kind of just forget about it. When I'm feeling well, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Like, what am I don't know what I was talking about. I didn't have issues. Like, yeah, no, I do. And it sucks, and I don't want to not be believed. So that's why I don't really use the term disability when I'm talking to anybody. I also feel like my diagnosis process for a lot of these things has been really complicated, and I'm not even at the point where I'm comfortable with the diagnoses that I have, or I haven't gotten them quite yet. Like, my autism diagnosis, I haven't officially gotten it, and I won't for another couple of weeks. And it's coming up on December soon, so it'll be the beginning of December that I find out, and I'm like, oh, Christmas present, autism diagnosis. Like, I'm very confident that that's what's going to happen with me, even though a few days ago I was really nervous. But like, after that appointment and just really sitting with myself and knowing, like, I know myself, I've looked at the DSM-5 criteria, I know what I'm talking about to an extent. Like, I don't need to be afraid, because more than likely I'm going to get the diagnosis. But like with my body problems, the hypermobile EDS, oh sorry, the hypermobile EDS, I need to go to a rheumatologist to really look deeper into it, make sure that's what's going on, because my doctor, my general practitioner, like, just basically said I have it because my physical therapist said it looks like I have it. But and I am hypermobile. That's not up for question. It's just, why am I experiencing the pain? Is it EDS, or is it something else? Could it be something else? I think it is, because I've looked into other things like fibromyalgia, and that's like a constant thing. And I don't always feel this much pain. Like, it's dynamic. Some days I feel relatively fine. And then other days, like today, my back is hurting, my neck is hurting, like everything hurts. And so it just depends on the day. And I wonder if my energy level contributes to that. Like, I just don't have, like, the physical or mental strength to, like, protect myself in, like, I don't know, if my brain, like, starts to not prioritize certain things, like posture. Posture's terrible for me anyways, but, like, maybe that's why, like, I can't focus on all of those things because I spent all of my energy already. Like, my battery is running really low and I can't recharge until the weekend. And the weekend we're going up to my partner's aunt's house for an early Thanksgiving thing, which I'm not going to get into what Thanksgiving is about and why I don't like how it started, but whatever. Not going to get into that, but we're going to be around so many people. And I gotta make cake pops tomorrow night. Like, I made the cake, but I have to crumble it up, make the frosting, make the balls on the stick, dip them in the, like, white chocolate and sprinkles, and, like, I love doing that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love baking. I was a baker. I have my own, like, small business on the side that I haven't been able to do since I started this job, really, and like, that's really discouraging for me. I've only done one thing, which was a big wedding cake, and I took off work for it, so, like, I just can't keep up. But the cake pops were a request of hers for me to make, because she knows I'm a baker, and she wanted to do something for the kids, and, funfetti cake pops are gonna be great. They're gonna love them, and that's gonna be my contribution to the children, because I do not want to talk to them or be near them. I just, no. No. Sounds bad, but I just don't like being around children. I don't like being around people, but, like, children are a different ball game because they make a lot of noise, and they are really sticky and messy and get into stuff and, like, So, I don't know, there's going to be a whole lot of people crammed into one house, and it's not like a tiny house, but it's not massive. And I'm not looking forward to how awkward I am in those situations. Like, I don't know what to do. I just, like, stand in the corner and twiddle my thumbs, and sometimes just spend a lot of time in the bathroom because I just don't want to be around anybody, being perceived by everyone. And I've only been to this house once for, like, 10 minutes, so, like, I don't really know where the, like, hidey places are, so that's not great. A little nerve-wracking. Sorry, I'm having issues today with my, like, allergies or something. I don't know. Drainage. Gross. Anyways, sorry. So yeah, I normally they have like a big living kitchen combined thing, and there's, like, no separation, and it's like, the last time I was there, everybody was everywhere, and there was no place to hide. And I was only there for 10 minutes, so it was okay, because I got to leave. But this time I'm going to be there, like, for a few hours, at least, and so Normally, I would just put myself in the kitchen and do dishes and cook, because then I don't have to talk to people as much. I can kind of hide in there, and like focus on a task, and that's way more comfortable for me than talking to people that I see once a year or maybe twice a year that I don't know very well. And it's just small talk and like asking questions about how my life has been, and I'm like, well, it's this, and I don't really want to say that stuff, so I'm just like, oh, it's good, they're like, oh, how's your job? Yeah, it's good, like, even though it's not true, and there's so many other things that I could be saying, but like I don't want to, or I don't want to like get into it. I'm like, oh, how's your job? And I'm like, actually, it sucks sometimes, even though I like it sometimes, and I'm thinking of quitting because I'm disabled. Like, that's not an option in normal conversation, because then they're just gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Like, what's your disability? Or they like whatever. Like, oh, I don't want to even get into that. Like, I don't want to tell people I'm autistic because I don't know, and I'm not gonna know until after. And then I don't want to tell people, like, I've been telling people that, I've got a connective tissue disorder where, like, I am extra stretchy and it makes my joints come out of place, and it's really painful sometimes. So that I have told a few people, because I don't feel like that's misleading. There's definitely something going on that is true, that I'm extra stretchy, my joints come out of place all the time, and I have a lot of pain. So I'm not lying about that, but people don't really want to hear about your struggles. They only want to hear, like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything's going great. I love life so much. That's all they want to hear, and so it's just, I hate those types of interactions. They make me very uncomfortable, and they feel very pointless, and I don't feel very good afterwards. But I don't want to not go, because I don't know. I don't want to seem like I don't like them, or like I don't want to spend time with them, even though I don't really. It's like, if I could just spend time with like a few of them at one time, and then a few of them at another time, and but everybody all at once, it's the worst. Not as bad as a networking event at work though, but still pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I really do like want to be able to do those things and not, feel like I have to hide. But I don't know how to not feel that way. I can only handle large groups of people for a very short amount of time, and I prefer not to. So it's just, it is what it is. But I want to have a positive attitude going into it, because I know that'll help. If I'm like dreading it, it'll just, my fuse will be a lot shorter, and I'll be in the bathroom like faster because I'm hiding. So if I, go into it thinking it won't be too bad, and even if it is, like, my mindset will be positive going into it. My partner understands that I find those things really overwhelming, so I do appreciate that. I know that if I need to go accommodate myself somewhere else, then, I'm not gonna, like, hurt their feelings or whatever. So that's good. As far as anybody else goes, I can't really control that, and I don't really know them well enough to know if they'll find it like disrespectful or something, but hey, I can't control it. I need to take care of myself. And the fact that I'm even there is proof that I care about these people and I want to be involved in their holiday festivities, and I appreciate being invited. Yeah, so that takes away one day of recovery, though, for me, in which I will need to recover from. So it just concerns me about next week, and how am I going to feel next week at work, working all week? Am I going to end up like this longer? Am I going to even have enough time to recover in one day? That's normally not enough time for me to recover from a week of work. Yeah. I don't know. But positive, then Thanksgiving's that week, so I'm off Thursday and Friday, so maybe I'll be okay if I can just do some laundry tomorrow night. I'm talking this stuff out. You guys probably don't even care. I'm talking this stuff out because this is my way of processing. But if I do laundry tomorrow night, as soon as I get home, throw in all my work clothes and get it done before we have to leave on Saturday for the thing, then maybe Sunday I can just sleep in and do the things that I would normally do on the weekend, which food related. I think we have enough food maybe to where I don't have to do a big grocery shopping normal week. I don't know. Yeah, it's just so much, and I feel like I am wearing out, and I don't want to have to quit this job. But I also feel like if I only worked 3 days a week here, then I'd be golden. Oh, that's really gross. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's really frustrating trying to figure everything out and try to just be functioning. I'm accepting that this isn't not normal. Other people don't have to try this hard to just exist, and I can give myself grace to do what I need to do. And if I can't do it, I'm not a failure. It feels like it, but I just need to tell myself that that's not because I didn't try my hardest, because I did. I tried my hardest at everything that I do. I think a lot of that comes from how I was raised. I was raised really religious, and that was one of the things that I told myself all the time, which was anything that you do it to your best ability, and I have always done that. And so if I come up short, it is not because I didn't try and I didn't put all of my effort in. It was because I have a disability or multiple that make it that much harder for me. And the fact that I've even been able to do what I've done is amazing. Having this much pain and being able to keep a job at all, I don't know if other people would be able to. Not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I'm just saying I have put in a lot of work. I definitely don't think I'm better than anyone. I do think that if I weren't so determined, though, I could have given up multiple times. And me burning out and having to quit a job wasn't giving up. I was putting myself into a really bad place, and I don't want to do that over and over and over again. I want to figure out what is a sustainable routine for me. So if this isn't if I can't make this a sustainable routine, I will have to pivot to something that's maybe part-time. And that's okay. Like, trying to be okay with that. Thankfully, my partner does make relatively good money, and they're going to be making even more money soon. Like, so it's, and they have a pretty secure job. In like the industry they work in is really, like it's not going anywhere. The jobs aren't going anywhere. And it's unionized, so they've got pretty good benefits. Thankfully, they're okay with me needing support. And they want to be able to support me, and get kind of emotional, like, talking about that, because I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to be able to support them, but I can't, at least not financially speaking. But I do other things, and they think that's enough, so I should think that's enough. Man, having a real heart-to-heart with you guys here. But yeah, it's hard having a dynamic disability. It's hard not beating yourself up for it and feeling like an imposter in either scenario. When you're feeling well, feeling like your disability, like you're making that up, or when you're, feeling your disability, feeling like, well, when you were feeling good, you were just lying to yourself. It's hard to reconcile a dynamic disability, and I'm doing my best here, and if any of you can relate or have similar struggles, like, please reach out. It's good not to feel alone, and you are enough.